Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This video we will look at how blockchain works with demo. So first, let's take a look at this page right here. So you can see the first one here is hash. So what is hash? This one right here is using the SHA-256 algorithm hash, right? And it basically means that whenever that we enter the data right here, any type of data, and the result is going to be returning with the fixed length string. Okay, so let me just demonstrate that to you. I'm gonna say anything that I want, right? So you just type any of this random text, and here you can see the length stay the same, and this is the result from hashing. Okay, so when I enter this will first go through the hashing algorithm or hashing function, and this is the result that I get from there. And this is how the hashing work. Okay, so now let me just type hello, hi, welcome, right? And you notice that the length they stay the same, it's just the number is actually different. So if I were to change the copy and cut this, right? So let's just cut this, and you remember the number here, it start with 51B and end with D 21. So let's just cut this, and when I paste it again, and you can see the result is actually the same, 51B and end with D21. So any data that you type here, it's going to be with the unique hash result. Okay, so now let's take a look at it, the other one. It's the block. So first it starts with the hash, and now we look at the block. So with block, it's similar things. We have the data, we can enter any data right here, right? And we also have nonce and block. So let's just take a look down here as well. This is the hash. It starts with 40. So if I were to enter any value, let's just say hello, welcome, and now you can see the hash value, it's no longer valid. It's no longer started with 40. So this is something that we have to solve, right? So we have to basically click on the mine button here. So we have to mine. Basically, we want to solve the problem to find the nonce number, the nonce value that match this data in the block number 1 right here. So I have to click on the mine button. So once I click, you can now see that the nonce is changed to this particular number. So this is the correct one. Okay, and it start with this 40. So if I just change it to the other side, then you can also see the nonce value will be changed as well. So when I click on the mine button, and you can see this particular data in the block number 1, it has to be this nonce value. So we have to solve the problem to get to this started with 40, right? So we have to mine it. That's come with the other question as well. So what is mining? So if we were to look at this mining rig, right? So people try to solve the problem in the blockchain. So if they successfully solve, then what they get is the reward by getting, says, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? So this is a powerful computer with the super large GPU. Okay, so once the problem solved, it means a new block will be created in the blockchain. Now we understand a little bit more about how block work, right? It has the block number, we have the nonce. So basically this is what the miner is looking for, right? So this is the solution to the problem. Okay, so this is the nonce. They trying to find this number right here that match this data. Now let's look at the blockchain. So it's similar to block, it's just that in blockchain it consists of multiple blocks. Okay, so now let's see this one here. It has this is the block number 1, block 2, and block 3 up until block 5. And here the same, we have the nonce, we have the data field right here, and this is the previous one, and this is the hash. And when you take a look at this hash right here, this is the number, right? Started with 1578, and this one right here is connected with the block number 2. So you can see the previous here, right? The same number right here. It's 1578. Okay, so that means block number 1 is connected with the block number 2, and then it has another hash value or the hash result here. This will be connected with the next block, will be block number 3 up until number 5 here. Okay, so we have the previous number here. The hash value is actually the same as the one that is solved in the block number 4. So what about this one right here? This means that there is no particular problem that has to solve, so it started with all zeros. Okay, so now what happened when I try to add some data into one of the block? And now let's just start with block number 3 here. So if I were to add something here, right, random data here, then the other blocks will be affected as well. So here you can see we have the hash result. It no longer start with number 4 zeros. Okay, so this is the problem. And what I'm going to do when this happens, then I have to click on the mine button. You can also see that the red color around the block number 3, 4, 5 as well, right? That means the whole blockchain started with block number 3 here. It's no longer valid. So what we have to solve the problem here by clicking, or we have to mine this block number 3. So once it's mined, then take a look at the hash. It started with all 0, and then that means it's not completed yet. It has to go to the block number 4. You can see the hash number started here, and we have to also mine in block number 4 as well. This means that we once the one of the block get updated, change the value, then the whole blockchain has to also update it as well, have to mine in each of the block. Okay, so this is it take a lot of powers. That is why we need this kind of computers, right, the mining rigs. So for this one, I have to also click on the block number 5 to solve the problem, to start with the 4 zeros as seen here, and now it is corrected even though when I added the data right here. Okay, so this is how blockchain works. Now let's take a look at the other one here. This is the distributed tab. So this is again similar to blockchain. It's just that you can think of it as decentralized blockchain. Okay, so it has peer number peer A, right, peer B, and peer C. So when you take a look at the block number 1, 2 up until number 5, they have the same with the peer number 2 and peer number 3 as well. So take a look at the number here, E for B, E for B, right? They are the same, E for B. So what happens if I change the data in one of the block, right? So if I started with the block number 1 here, I add something here, then you can see the whole blockchain for here A here, it's ruined. It's no longer valid, right? So that means we have to solve each of this. But what happens if this is already solved? Now let's just take a look. If I click on the mine button for all of the blocks, so click here and here, now you can see it seems to be fine, right? So the hash number is started with 4040, right? But the problem here is that when we take a look at peer B, right, and we take a look at the hash value here, comparing with the number 1, it's no longer the same. So what happened when these two are not the same? That means we have to go through the another peer, which is peer C, or the other peer in the decentralized network, right? We have to compare those. So here this is started with the 40 E for B. So when comparing with this, that means that these two are actually valid peer, right? Valid blockchains. But when taking a look here, we comparing between the others, that means this one is different. So this means this is not valid at all. This have to get removed or be excluded. Okay, so peer A is no longer valid, and this will be excluded from the blockchain. This also lead to the immutable that I explained you in the last video as well. So it means that the blockchain, it cannot be changed once you edit something here and you also solve the problem, but it no longer valid as comparing to the other peer in the network. Okay, And this is the benefit of the blockchain. It's immutable. It cannot be changed. Now let's take a look at the tab here. This is the tokens. So the tokens here, we have peer A, again peer B, peer C, and the difference here is that instead of the data, this is the TX, it means the transactions. So we have the block number, we have the nonce, and this is the previous, and this is the hash, right? And inside here, the transaction, meaning that we want to send, right? Darcy sent $25 to this person right here. It's called Bingley, right? So it's sent from here, and now let's just look at the hash sync value, whether the results are the same, right? So we just comparing here. Start with BAA, they are the same, right? So again, let's try to change something inside the transactions here. So instead of 119, I changed this to $100, and you can now see that it's become red. It's not valid. So I want to mind it. I want to solve the problem to become the green color, right? So when I click here, that means it's solved, right? It's coming with the expected result, which is started with the number 4 zeros. But again, we have to compare this with the other peer in the network, and when taking a look here, the hashing value, they are not the same. So when I know that this is not the same, which one do we have to know that whether this is correct or this one is correct? Then we need to use the hashing value in the peer A and peer B and compare with the others in the network, right? The other peers in the network, and we can see that these two actually match. That means these two are valid, and this one will be excluded from the network. So this is the how the tokens work in this case, sending from one person to another persons in the network, and we need to compare this. And this is how the blockchain works with the demo. Hope that this video is helpful and you now understand how it actually works using the this demo here. And also I want to mention that this hashing value is using the SHA-256, but in the Ethereum, the hashing algorithm, it is using this right here. But for the process, they are actually the same. It's just that the algorithms is different. But the blockchain, and the distributed or decentralized, they are having the same process. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial. Until then, see you guys in the next video.